Some officials at the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, which is under the Presidential Committee on Environment and Natural Resources, have been implicated in the latest exposé by Anas Arumio Anas on illegal mining. What has the public been saying about this latest exposé? My name is Kojo Achman. Join me on this episode of News Connect on City TV as we hear from the public. If we are to go by the content of what you saw in the video, what does it mean for the fight against illegal mining?
I think that the fight against, per what I watch, we may say that we have lost the fight against illegal mining. However, I disagree with that point. I believe that those government officials that be identified in the video must be punished to serve as a deterrent to others who are in the process of taking bribe to compromise the president's fight against illegal mining.
What would be your fair assessment of what you saw in the video?
I think that basically what I saw in the video, even though Anas uses entrapment to entrap his the people in the video, I believe that if you are not ready to be entrapped, you will not accept the bribe from him. And I believe that what Anas is doing, he should be encouraged rather than being insulted by some section of the public.
So what will be, you called on the authorities to investigate these people. How do you want the investigation to be? In which form?
I believe that those people who have been implicated, first of all, should resign. I learned one of the guys in the video, one BCU, is a presidential staffer. I believe that one thing with Africans is that we find it difficult to resign our position when we are in a position of compromise. I believe the first thing for him to do to him is for him to resign, and then the issue should be further investigated. And if found culpable, then he should be prosecuted.
Well, for me, I think it's number one, it's very disappointing. I would wish that the president would immediately take drastic measures.
Which wishes?
I mean, number one, all those involved should step down. I mean, all those in his office, that is to say, those that work at the presidency, they should step down. All the military officers and then the policemen, the immigration officers, everybody involved. This is not a time to even, I mean, like we said, I mean, clear some people, like some people probably think the president has been doing, but immediately everybody should just step down and then he should be strict. I mean, we have known the president to be a very strict man who would make sure that the law and order would be enforced or respected. But what Ghanaians thought about him when he was contesting is not really what we are seeing. So drastically, I would want the president to institute stringent measures to make sure that everybody involved should really step down of their positions. And then this is Ghana, so maybe a commission of inquiry or maybe some other inquiry body should be set up to really investigate this case.
Do you think that this will have a major impact on the fight against illegal mining, considering the fact that officers who should be protecting the state are rather giving away vital information that will lead to people to circumvent the order of the day?
Well, for me, I don't think it's really about whether it will be affecting it. I think it's affecting it because if this is going on, only God knows how many illegal mining entities that haven't gone through the roadmap for mining. I don't know how many companies or entities have not really gone through the lay down procedures and already they are mining. So for me, I think that once this has happened, presupposes that a lot of such occurrences is happening. So it's just sad. I mean, because I remember there was a media coalition that really, stood up against this thing. So many Ghanaians spoke against it. People were not in favor because people felt like they were going hungry because they were not mining. And the president made the nation understand that it's for our own good. So after all this, and then we are back to square one, it's very disappointing. So I think that it's affecting it. I don't know how even the committee is even doing their work. I don't know whether they are actually doing the work that they were tasked to do and all that.
You've watched the video. Let me ask you, what will be your conclusion after watching the 25-minute video on the Galamsey fraud?
Okay, thank you. I mean, to begin, it was very shameful at seeing them in the videos picking up huge sums of money, you know, stabbing the government. It's very shameful. But, you know, what I can say is that we will call on the justice system to take its course. The law should work this time around, because we saw Nyan Techi going scot for free. And at a point, the case was threw out of Supreme Court or one of the High Court that, look, there is no criminal code to base on to prosecute the man. But FIFA, with this little, you know, constitution, he was able to find a code or an article to base on to ban this man for life, and even fund him some sums of money. So this time around, we are calling on the government to deal with this issue with all seriousness and with all integrity. We do not want them this time around to play around it and be doing this kind of their politics. They must take Ghanaians for serious for once. They keep calling for evidence. This is a clear evidence, and this is obvious of what is happening there. But it is sad that very soon you will see government officials coming up to attack the guy on his works, to bringing up some kind of counter attacks on who watches who. This time around, we are not interested in who watches who. We want to deal with the fact on the ground. So if you think you are having any video which is going to be a counter video, you should have brought your own out before his. Anytime the guy come out with a document or some kind of evidence on what is happening in government, you get people who are also powerful and associated with the government coming up to defend this whole shameful act.
How is this going to be a setback for the fight against illegal mining?
It's actually going to serve as a setback, because considering what they are doing, going forward, how much more can the government trust its appointees again? If this is going to continue, that means the government has, you know, lose the fight in advance, because whom should he trust again? And those I believe probably he can trust are not in the right position. So I think obviously the government is going to lose the fight against corruption. But if anything should give him the confidence not to throw in towel and still push for that agenda to save the environment, I believe that these people who has been, you know, interdicted in the video, whosoever they are, they must face the law and they must be prosecuted duly. And I think if that is done, obviously, you know, next appointees or next people or personnel that will be in such positions will do their work or carry out their duties, you know, carefully, and they will be very faithful to the president.
That'll be all for this episode of News Connect on City TV. My name is Kojo Achman. Keep watching City TV.